Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you may know, here we focus on customizing RC parts instead of buying new ones. This approach not only saves money, but also circumvents the sometimes exorbitant shipping fees, which often end up costing more than the parts themselves. In today's video, we're diving into a challenging project, fixing a motor equipped with a 16-tooth gear. Additionally, we need to address a significant hole in the chassis that was caused by a misaligned motor mount. On top of that, we'll tackle the replacement of a malfunctioning fan that's supposed to cool down the electronic speed controller. As you can see, the motor is slightly raised, which may have contributed to the gears becoming damaged. Unfortunately, we hit a snag when we discovered that an Allen key had snapped off inside one of the screws, making this part of the process quite hectic. The head of the Allen key lodged itself firmly within the screw, which added another layer of difficulty to the repairs. I started by attempting to drill around the screw to loosen the stuck metal, but to my dismay, I broke more than 5 drill bits in the process, each one quite pricey. After all that drilling, I resorted to using a strong adhesive, hoping to secure the broken Allen key and pull it out, but that strategy proved fruitless. Eventually, I had no choice but to disassemble the entire assembly, which was a tedious task. As you can see, one side of the motor mount is noticeably bent upwards when compared to the other side, especially where it contacts the chassis. This situation left me with only one viable option. I had to carefully remove the mount, which unfortunately ended up causing even more damage to the chassis. I reached out to my friend who had attempted to help me out, and I was shocked to see the large hole he created. Definitely a nerve-wracking sight. From what I gather, he was perhaps trying to use mud to prevent welding the unintended areas. If anyone has insights into this technique, please feel free to correct me in the comments below. He then tested the composition of the aluminum that the chassis is made from, but this added to the complexity of reassembling the parts. The rear section of the chassis in particular didn't fit well due to some of the alterations he made. Nevertheless, his efforts to identify the aluminum type were commendable. He concluded that it was a hard grade of aluminum, which is actually a positive trait. During the process, I found myself questioning how the motor would fit properly with all that metal involved. Thankfully, with precision, he managed to file the material down to perfection, expertly addressing the bent area until it was restored to about 99% of its original shape. His patience and understanding of my requirements really shone through. The next major hurdle arose when another Allen key broke off inside the motor's gear. On a different day, I consulted another technician who skillfully drilled into the gear, and after much effort, he was able to extract the broken piece, leaving me relieved and grateful. I decided to switch from a 16-tooth to a 15-tooth gear to evaluate any performance differences. Upon closer inspection, I noticed that the slot for the gear mount wasn't aligned correctly, which signified that I had a considerable amount of work ahead of me to ensure the motor was perfectly aligned with the central differential gear. Misalignment in those holes could lead to significant complications down the line. I began the reassembly by fixing the rear gearbox, followed by the central differential gear, and moving on to the front gearbox, with each component meticulously reattached. This car comprises countless parts, and as I worked, I found myself deeply appreciating the intricate engineering that went into its construction. I wholeheartedly recommend this car to everyone, especially since it's an upgraded version of an older model known as the Pirates 2. One useful lesson I learned is after removing a screw, it's always best to place it right back where it belongs, making the process much more manageable. As the project progressed, I was delighted to see that the motor and gear fit perfectly onto the chassis, thanks to the exceptional work done by my friend. I carefully reassembled every single part, encountering a few minor issues along the way, but overall, everything came together harmoniously. Finally, I turned my attention to the last challenge, fixing the fan mounted on top of the electronic speed controller. The fan was erratic, starting and stopping repeatedly for about 5 minutes before stabilizing. Frustrated by this, I firmly decided it needed repair. However, finding a fan of the right size proved difficult in our country, where hobby shops are few. Ultimately, I had to purchase a larger, more powerful fan to solve the problem. It fits seamlessly on top of the electronic speed controller, even without a protective case. As you can see, I had to secure it tightly to the ESC using 6 zip ties, ensuring a snug fit. The result is impressive, everything is well aligned, and the vehicle performs beautifully. I'm genuinely proud of how this project has come together, and I don't regret the decision to disassemble the entire setup for this modification. I'm still planning to conduct thorough testing, particularly at full throttle, to determine if the gears are properly aligned and functioning as they should. I'll keep you updated on my findings. Hopefully everything will be in order, and I won't need to invest in a new chassis. Thank you so much for following along on this journey. If you enjoyed the content, please like, share, and subscribe for more updates.